Where's it at, T? Oh, goodness gracious. Hey, this is what Tyler finds because he freaking doesn't mess around like I do all the time. And you know what? That's a good picture right there. You want to get a picture? Here, I'll get a picture of that. What we said about putting your shooting box and your feet are literally we're what, 40 yards maybe? Maybe. How are you going to get in there when that dude lays here? And he lays here. I know this because that dude died there. Somewhere in here. The rest of him's probably laid up in here somewhere. And coyotes finally drug him out of here. But yeah, we got pics. Yeah. Oh, he's a heavy son gun too.
He looks big.
Yeah, he's got great mass.
Okay, with him being that white, did he die this year and he just got?
No. He's. Well, I say that, but no, he's last year's or early in the year. I mean, oh, well that's still wet, but he looks old. But I mean, that was of course fat, but you think that'd been Gandhi? Yeah, he could have been here. I don't know. I didn't see that kicker. That's a slick dude. Yeah, it's 2 days in a row, everybody. Tyler's got a freaking dandy. Okay, Kansas Bucks. Guys, I'm telling you, this area in here, it's monster deer. This is not a monster for this area. It's a good deer, don't get me wrong. I mean, great little deer. He's got some good character too.
Explain all the bumps.
You know, I don't know. I think it's genetics on that because you see it in some, you see a slick antler in some. I'm sure it's just genetics, but it's cool when they carry up like this. I don't see that a lot. See that carries clean up into here. So it'd be maybe 10 miles crow flies. We had one we called the beer can buck, and Brian Smith named him that because I put a beer can next to him and took a photo of the sheds just to show him the size of it. But, you know, he has that stuff all the way up in there, and he's tight and he was tall. You know, but these, like just what we were talking about, them river systems. We got the river right over here, the Whitewater River, and that Whitewater River actually flows, like I said, the 10-mile property. God, it's not even 10 miles. So it's probably maybe 7-8 miles the crow flies to the property I'm talking about. But it sets half mile off the Whitewater River. But you think about that river system that basically straight up and down on the map when you look at it, and then every little ditch or creek that feeds into it. Think about it as like a family tree, your lineage. When you see one of those on a piece of paper that goes up and starts forking off everywhere from you. The same thing on genetics. You know, a lot of people get off butthurt, I should say, for lack of better words, that, you're over my area because that's the genetics I have. Well, shoot, it all comes off that main river system, and that river runs all the way to the freaking Gulf of America, boys. Gulf of America. But, you know, I mean, I see genetics like that all the time, where this over here, 20 mile that way, they match up somewhat. But I don't know. That's just I do. I like that. God, and look at that. That's what's great about these that I like is that when people, rifle hunters, that's my big thing is rifle hunter. A bow hunter's going to see this, you know, up close and personal. But a rifle hunter from 200 yards, 300 yards out, you know, he's gonna be like, oh, that's not the one I'm shooting. He's a dink, you know. But they don't see that mass. And that mass adds up fast when you're scoring. And especially when these beams come around, you see an approach and you're like, oh, he's just a little basket rack. I'm going to let him walk. But you don't realize that beam length that's coming in here is I mean, all you're losing is your spread. And he's probably got, what is it? 7. You got a 14-inch spread. That's tiny for a spread. But a great little deer.